Here's your news for June 8th, 2020. And some headlines for today include the real reason why Charlotte Flair lost her title, important segments booked for tonight's Monday Night Raw, Velveteen Dream's status on the main roster call-up, NXT superstar banged up after NXT TakeOver in your house, Shayna Baszler's current WWE status, Cash Wheeler reveals what Vince McMahon said after he punched out Bret Hart's attacker, and more. We're starting off today by looking at the Intercontinental title tournament, and whilst many fans thought they'd been spoiled on the finals, that isn't the case. Recently, a rumor circulated that Brie Bella had accidentally uploaded a picture of the title with Daniel Bryan's side plates, seemingly spoiling that her husband will be winning the title, but now it's been confirmed that these reports are fake. It turns out that the image didn't come from the former Divas champion, but instead came from a WWE fan talk show who made it clear that they took the picture from their own kitchen. With Brie and Bryan expecting their second child, it probably makes more sense for the Yes Man to lose the finals to AJ Styles. And whilst we don't know who will be the next champion, we know that the result hasn't already been spoiled. We are looking ahead to the upcoming Backlash pay-per-view, as whilst the show will air this Sunday, there's a question of when it will be filmed. It's been reported by other news outlets that the WWE taped their pay-per-view yesterday before filming the Go Home Raw and Smackdown, but according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Forum, Backlash wasn't recorded last weekend. What this means is that either something was taped yesterday but not for the pay-per-view, or someone in WWE is leaking out bad information to wrestling sites. All we know for certain is that there's another set of tapings scheduled for this week at the Performance Center, and they will make up the final show before this Sunday's huge pay-per-view. It's clear that the current taping schedule is a bit complicated, but hopefully everything is aired correctly on tonight's Raw, which will see a huge segment. It's been confirmed that there will be another Rey Mysterio segment, with his retirement still being the topic of discussion, as this story is clearly going somewhere, despite people asking if Rey has wrestled his final match. Mexican mainstream media is covering Rey's alleged retirement like it's the real thing, and whilst he might not have a ton of time left in his career, it seems he has enough to get his son Dominic on the show. Rey's segment isn't the only big thing announced for the show, as it's also been confirmed that MVP will host a VIP lounge tonight, with his client Bobby Lashley being the special guest. The #1 contender for the WWE Championship, Lashley will have a lot to say about this Sunday's WWE Championship match with Drew McIntyre, and there's a strong rumor that a title reign is down the line for the Almighty. Tonight's show will also see an epic WrestleMania 34 rematch, as Raw Women's Champion Asuka takes on Charlotte Flair in non-title action, and the Queen will be looking for a win after losing the NXT Women's title at TakeOver. The new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Bayley will be bringing their gold to the red brand as well, and fans will have to see which superstars step up to the new champs. We are looking at NXT TakeOver in your house next, as the show ended with the NXT Women's title changing hands, but Flair not being pinned to lose the gold. During a post-TakeOver conference call, Triple H was asked about the finish of the match, and said that despite people's opinions, Flair not taking the pin has nothing to do with her last name, and described the notion of nepotism helping the former champion as garbage. He added, "She's a great performer, she deserves everything she's ever gotten and has." Addressing the Queen's future in NXT and this title loss, the game said, "This was done for very specific reasons for storytelling purposes, and hopefully, if we get to tell the story the way we want to over the next coming months, I think 3 or 4 months from now, hopefully you'll go, I know exactly why they did the finish that they did." Time will tell what the future holds for Flair, as she's been appearing on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT as of late, so she's certainly got feuds going on no matter where she goes. Whilst we don't know what the future holds for the Queen of all eras, one thing Charlotte herself wouldn't mind doing is vying for a men's title. While speaking to Sportskeeda, Flair explained her reasons for wanting to challenge for a men's title, but explained that the quote, "big picture" might not see that as a possibility. By the big picture, it's possible Flair means WWE themselves, as they have usually reserved intergender wrestling for comedy matches, and even then rarely have men fought women. Tessa Blanchard recently made history by becoming the Impact World Champion, making her the first female to hold a top men's title in a major North American company. Whilst Impact may be fine with intergender wrestling, WWE isn't, and time will tell whether the former Raw, Smackdown, and NXT Women's Champion adds something like the Intercontinental Championship to her ever-expanding trophy cabinet. In between her busy schedule of interviews and competing on all three brands, Flair had time to address her TakeOver loss, and whilst she praised Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley, it was her second tweet that got fans talking. Listing some superstars she's faced, including Paige, Natalya, her fellow horsewomen Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks and Bayley, Asuka, and Baszler, the former champion said this belongs to them now, as fans speculated about what Flair's future in WWE will be. This tweet certainly indicates that Flair may be taking a break for a bit, but whilst this is currently just speculation, we know that she'll be appearing on tonight's Raw to face Asuka. Speaking of cross-brand appearances, the WWE will be moving a lot of NXT superstars in the coming weeks, and Velveteen Dream may also be on changing brands as well. During the post-TakeOver conference call, the game addressed the idea of talent moving, and gave the example of Finn Baszler, who returned to NXT last year, to explain how talent can only stay on one brand for so long. Specifically addressing the rumors of Velveteen Dream moving, the 14-time WWE World Champion said, "As far as Velveteen Dream goes specifically, you'll have to wait and see. There's always going to be movement of talent." Triple H added in that he thinks it's great when fans assume someone is moving just because they lost a big match in NXT, saying that it keeps the fans guessing as the cerebral assassin won't be giving any hints about the future for the popular, bizarre superstar. Whilst NXT TakeOver In Your House didn't end like Flair had hoped, she still appeared on the show, which is more than can be said for Michael P.S. Hayes. During the post-TakeOver conference call, Triple H explained his failed attempts to get Hayes back for one of his old personas, as he said, "You have no idea how hard I tried to get Michael Hayes to show up, cut his hair, and be Doc Hendricks. His refusal was loud and very intense, and I could hear him exploding through my cell phone as the Doc Hendricks picture appeared on the wall of Johnny Gargano's living room before he exited the house, which was phenomenal to me." Whilst Doc Hendricks didn't appear in person, a photo of him did make a quick cameo, and fans did get a blast from the past with Todd Pettengill, who reprised his role with WWE to promote the card for the show, just like he did for the original TakeOver events back in the 90s. It's always possible that In Your House could become an annual event as well, so just because fans didn't see Doc this time, there's always the possibility he could show up a year from now. One person who did appear on the show is Johnny Gargano, who came up short against North American champion Keith Lee and will certainly be feeling that defeat this morning. During the press conference, Triple H was asked whether there were any injuries to report and said that Gargano was the only one he'd heard about and said that the Triple Crown winner is having lower back and hip issues. He added, "He tweaked himself a little bit. Doctors don't think it's anything serious, but he's just a little bit battered. Everybody else seems to be great and healthy." The game added that everybody else seems to be okay, and said that adrenaline is a magical thing, something that the superstars will have plenty of given the success of TakeOver In Your House. Hopefully Johnny will be okay, as this isn't the first time he's given his all for an event like this, which has rightfully earned him the nickname Johnny Wrestling. Whilst Gargano may be worse for wear and Flair is recovering from her championship loss, one person who had a big week on the gold brand is El Hijo del Fantasma, who captured the Cruiserweight title against Drake Maverick in the tournament finals. Whilst plenty of fans were pleased to see Fantasma win the gold, nobody was more happy than his mother, who added to her collection of tattoos with one of the NXT Championship as well as the date of her son's big victory. In a tweet translated from Spanish, Fantasma indicated that this is nothing new, saying that it's just a ritual for her to get a tattoo after one of his title wins. It should be noted that we currently have two NXT Cruiserweight champions, as Jordan Devlin was never stripped of the title, but is unable to compete as he's stuck in the UK, and time will tell what he has in store for the new interim NXT Cruiserweight champion, and whether Mama Devlin will be getting any ink to celebrate her son. From NXT to Monday Night Raw now, as one person fans haven't seen in quite some time is Shayna Baszler. Last seen tapping out Natalya on the May 12th edition of the Red Brand, many fans were surprised to see the Queen of Hearts and not the Queen of Spades in a triple threat match the following week, with this leading to speculation that Baszler is injured. According to Fightful though, this isn't the case, as they reported that Baszler is fine. Before Becky Lynch's pregnancy announcement changed the landscape of the women's division, the reported plans were for Baszler to become Miss Money in the Bank instead of Asuka, so it seems that despite her absence, there's no backstage heat for the former NXT Women's Champion. Speaking of superstars being AWOL, WWE made a big deal when Mercedes Martinez joined the company, even highlighting her 19-year journey to the gold brand, though she hasn't done much as of late. Addressing her absence, Fightful said, "When we asked around about Mercedes Martinez, we'd simply been told that she hasn't mentioned an injury as of late, although she's been off TV since February of this year. It's likely that both Baszler and Martinez are being kept off of TV until the company has something more meaningful to do with them, though it's good to hear that neither are injured or have any backstage heat." And we're finishing today by looking back at last year's WWE Hall of Fame ceremony now, and while the event saw many legends receive their first or second inductions, the event is probably best remembered for Bret Hart being attacked. Given that the room was full of trained wrestlers and fighters, it didn't take long for Bret's attacker to be stopped, and one person who got physical was Cash Wheeler, formerly known as Dash Wilder, who leveled the assailant with a stiff uppercut. Speaking recently with Jim Cornette, Wheeler explained his actions, saying that the man was still making threats and did what he had to do in order to neutralize the situation. Unsurprisingly, this incident caught the attention of Vince McMahon, and Wheeler talked about having to show the chairman a video of the incident to prove he was in the right. He said, "He wasn't mad to begin with, he was just worried. Once he saw the video, once he saw how the guy was not restrained, he was still a threat, and that was the case, he was like, that's completely justified, that's self-defense." Bret's attacker really should have known better than to attack the hitman in a room full of trained fighters, and hopefully this incident will have served as a very painful lesson to fans to never jump the barricade, especially if you're planning on attacking the excellence of execution.